You have one life. You can spend it on yourself or you can sacrifice it. I'm just here in a town called Gorkha in Nepal, a little town with a temple built right at the top of the hill called the Gorkha Durbar. Went up there this morning. Climbed up the 1,500 vertical steps, and as I was watching, looking down at my feet, hoping I'd get to the top, I saw all these little splotches and I'm thinking, is that mud? Is that coffee? Turns out it's blood. Not just any blood, it's blood from 1,000 goats and buffalo which gets sacrificed, slaughtered in October every year at their annual festival. This festival is in honor of Vishnu, their god. And apparently the blood just runs down these steps like a great river. And it's a very chilling, disturbing spectacle to watch. But it got me thinking about this idea of sacrifice. You see, sacrifice is part of who we are. It's written into human DNA. As far back as we can trace human history, we've been sacrificing things. We've been sacrificing birds, reptiles, mammals, even human beings. We sacrifice food. We set stuff on fire and call it a sacrifice. You know, the Hindus have obviously been doing it. Over in the Ghats temple in Kathmandu, we went there. It's a big Hindu temple, thousands of years old, and they sacrificed children. They sacrificed women, wives of husbands who had passed away up until the 1950s when it was outlawed. Very, very evil place. We've got ISIS today who run around slaughtering children thinking it's going to earn them a good seat in heaven. We've got Christianity. Christianity views Jesus as the ultimate sacrifice for the world who paid the one-time price for everyone. Ancient Judaism, they used to slaughter thousands of sheep and goats every year to appease their god, Yahweh. You might have seen one of my favorite movies, Apocalypto, in which these huge Aztec temples have steps which run red with rivers of human blood made as sacrifices to their gods. But you know, sacrifices aren't just about gods and deities and demons. They're also about our family members. They're also about people. Take a mother who sacrifices for her children. She gives up the opportunity to work and study, to stay at home and care for her kids. Take a father who goes out and works his entire life, works himself to death to provide for his family. You see, we provide for those people around us. We sacrifice for those within our circle, our family and friends. This is a regular part of being human. For a long time, it was thought that the way that we sacrifice for others in our life is part of self-preservation. It all actually comes back to us. If we can take care of our family members, and take care of our friends and our little tribe, we will be able to survive longer because we all cooperate with each other. But unfortunately, this theory doesn't hold any water anymore because, you know, we found that people regularly burst into burning houses to rescue strangers. People regularly put their lives on the line for people they've never met before. And why do they do it? When they're interviewed afterwards, they say things like, I had no other choice. I didn't even think about it. Didn't even register as a decision. I just did it. 2 years ago, one of my best friends was killed in a shark attack. His name was Zach Young. He was out surfing with some friends when a shark bit him. Now his friends saw that something was going on and they paddled out to him. They figured out a shark had attacked him, but they rescued him. They put him on their board and they paddled back to shore. They put their lives at risk knowing this shark was out there, all to save their friend. You see, there's something great waiting to be stirred up inside all of us, something that'll rise above this self-preservation instinct to put ourselves on the line for another human being. And doesn't have to wait until there's a life or death situation. You might say, you know, I'm not in house fires regularly, I'm not in shark attacks regularly. This can extend to our entire lives, and it can extend past just our little inner circle of family and friends to all people. You see, we can start to see all people as equal and everyone as valuable and worthy of being sacrificed for. So how do we do this? The way we do this, the way we live a life of sacrifice, the way we become a living sacrifice is by living a life of love, by doing something my friend Zach used to say all the time. And you might say, what is love? What's the definition of love? Who knows what that means? I'll tell you the greatest definition I ever heard of love. It goes like this. Love is patient. Love is kind. It is not envious or proud or boastful or rude. Love keeps no records of wrongs. It doesn't demand its own way, and it's not irritable. Love doesn't rejoice with injustice, but it rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through all circumstances. Speaking the words of God, speaking exotic languages, amassing huge amounts of special knowledge will all fade away and become useless. But love lasts forever. One of my greatest heroes, his name is Peter J. Daniels, real rags to riches sort of guy. He came from this background of being an illiterate bricklayer, came from generations and generations of poverty. One day he decided to change it all. Today he's an international business consultant, travels the world, gets paid millions of dollars to speak about incredible topics. And one of his quotes was, finally, when you do expire, when you get to the end of your life, Whatever you've done with your life is what you've traded your life for. So the cost of having a great life or an average life, it costs you the exact same thing. It's going to cost you your life. So don't just spend your life on yourself. Don't just spend your life fulfilling your own desires and thinking that's going to make you happy. Spend your life on other people. Sacrifice yourself for others. Live a life of love.